Picture this, a moonless night over Charleston Harbor. The year, 1862. The Civil War rages, and for millions enslaved, freedom is a distant dream. But in the shadows, one man dares the impossible. He seizes a Confederate warship, sails it past enemy guns, and brings it, along with his family and fellow enslaved crew, into Union hands. This isn't fiction. This is the real-life story of Robert Smalls, a true American hero.
Excuse me, class. Class!
Robert Smalls was born into slavery on April 5, 1839, in Beaufort, South Carolina. His mother, Lydia Polite, was enslaved by Henry McKee, who may also have been Robert's father. Though his early life was less brutal than many, his mother ensured he saw the reality of slavery, forcing him to witness whippings so he'd never forget its horror. At 12, he was sent to Charleston. There, he worked the harbor, loading cargo, making sails, navigating tides. Over time, he became a skilled wheelman, mastering the layout of the waterways and even learning Confederate signal codes. He married Hannah Jones, a hotel maid, in 1856. They had 2 children. Smalls tried to buy their freedom, but $800 was out of reach. Still, he made a vow. One day, they would be free. During the war, Smalls was forced to pilot the CSS Planter, a Confederate steamboat used for transporting troops and laying mines. But secretly, he was planning something far greater. In the early hours of May 13, 1862, with the white officers ashore, Smalls took control of the ship. He stopped at a wharf to rescue his wife, children, and the families of the enslaved crew. They hid below deck. Wearing the captain's straw hat, Smalls navigated past 5 heavily armed Confederate forts, mimicking every signal and whistle he learned. Fort Sumter was the last and most dangerous. He held steady. The Planter cleared the channel. Freedom was within reach. As Union ships prepared to fire, Smalls quickly lowered the Confederate flag and raised a white bedsheet. The USS Onward held fire. The gamble had worked. Robert Smalls had delivered 16 people to freedom. The Union gained more than a ship. Smalls brought military intelligence, details of mine placements, battery locations, and troop movements. His information helped secure the Stono River and future Union victories. Rear Admiral DuPont called him superior to any who have come into our lines. Smalls' escape inspired President Lincoln to allow black soldiers to join the Union Army. Soon, 5,000 formerly enslaved men would take up arms. Smalls himself piloted Union ships, including the Planter and later the USS Keokuk. When the Keokuk was sunk, he returned to command the Planter, becoming the first African-American U.S. Navy captain. He fought in 17 battles. After the war, Smalls returned to Beaufort and purchased his former enslaver's home, now seized by the Union. He even cared for the man's ill widow, allowing her to stay there until her death. Smalls emerged as a powerful voice in Reconstruction-era politics. Elected to the South Carolina legislature and later to the U.S. House of Representatives, he served 5 non-consecutive terms. His legacy of service includes writing South Carolina's first law for compulsory public education for all children, black and white, fighting tirelessly against black disenfranchisement, leading efforts to integrate public transit both in Philadelphia and the military, founding the Enterprise Railroad Company and publishing the Beaufort Southern Standard newspaper. Serving as customs collector at Beaufort's port for 2 decades, and in 1913 intervening to stop a lynch mob pressuring the mayor and sheriff to act. Robert Smalls lived through bondage, war, freedom, and backlash. Even as Jim Crow laws stripped rights from African Americans, he remained a tireless advocate for justice. In 1895, he told the South Carolina legislature, "My race needs no special defense. The past history of them in this country proves them to be the equal of any people anywhere. All they need is an equal chance in the battle of life." He died in 1915, in the same house where he had once been enslaved. Today, his story lives on. In 2007, the U.S. Army named a ship in his honor. South Carolina now works to place a monument on the State House grounds to recognize his enduring legacy. Harbor pilot, war hero, congressman, businessman. Robert Smalls lived not just for his own freedom, but for the freedom of generations to come. So what can we learn from his life of courage, vision, and service? And how will we, too, rise to meet the moment when history calls? Thank you for watching. If you like to see more videos like this, please subscribe.